What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and welcome back to part 2 of the DIY 7-string kit project. In the first episode, we kind of just unboxed everything and briefly went over, all the different parts. Today, I just want to go ahead and get some holes drilled for the tuners, like the strap buttons, the output jack plate, all that stuff. And then I want to get the neck bolted on and just go over everything, make sure everything lines up correctly. Basically kind of do like a semi-dry assembly. That way, we know everything is basically fitting good before we go ahead and start putting stain and finish on all the different parts. I don't want to go ahead and do that and then find out we have a fitment issue later on, and then have to go backwards. So I think we're just gonna, check the pickup cavities, make sure the pickups fit. Like I said, get holes drilled and maybe lightly sand some stuff. So let's go ahead and bring the camera in close and get started here. All right, so first thing I kind of want to do is just get the tuners put on, and then I'll mark the holes. I have a ruler here so we can try to get them all lined up nice. These holes seem like they're drilled pretty good. One does look a little tiny bit high, but nothing to be concerned about. So we'll get the tuners put in, and then we'll mark out the holes, and then I got a little drill. We'll get the drill bit, mark the depth for the drill bit, and then drill our holes, and that way we can get the tuners all squared away, and then we'll move on to the body. So I'm going to go ahead and get these tuners put on. So got the tuners in. I'm just going to go ahead and set them in position where I think is good, and then we'll get the ruler here and try to line them up as best as we can. They all look pretty dang good. Yeah, there is one where the hole seems to be drilled just a tad high, but it's nothing crazy. That one looks good. That one looks good. This kit so far seems pretty dang good quality. I'm pretty happy with everything I've been seeing. So no really big complaints there. All right, so we got them lined up. I'll go ahead and get my little Sharpie here. Go ahead and mark our holes. Now, I don't have brad point drill bits. I wish I did, but I do have, I'm just going to get like a little punch and maybe just get the little hole started so we can get everything center. All right, so we got them lined up. We got our holes marked out. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the tuners, and we can get to drilling here. All right, so I got the tuners out, got our holes marked, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead, I have this little spring-loaded punch thing that I'm just going to go ahead and make some punch marks so we can get everything drilled where it's supposed to be. This thing actually works pretty good. All right, so we got that done. I'm going to go ahead and get our drill bit. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with here. Let me find these screws. I believe these are the screws for the tuners right here. Yep, there's 7 of them. Let's see here. So I'm going to go with the 1/16 drill bit here. And I got my little drill gun and this. So now I'm going to get a piece of tape so we can set our depth here for the drill bit. I don't want to drill in farther than I have to. Let's see here. All right. So we're going to set the depth about right here. All right. So the only thing that sucks is with this drill bit, it doesn't really lock in place, but it should be good. So we're going to go ahead and get this started here. All right. Get all this crap out of here. My canned air. Alrighty. So got those all drilled. That seems to be good. Nice. They all look really lined up on the marks. Let's go ahead and just pop one in here. Yeah, perfect. So got the holes drilled. Super excited about that. Now I'm going to move on to the body and get the rest of the holes drilled on the body itself. So we got our body here. So I need to drill the holes for the output jack. I already got some markers marked, and I got to drill holes and figure out where I want to put my strap buttons. Now, you might be asking, oh, you're going to drill the holes for the pickup rings? Here's the thing. I don't know. I really don't. I almost kind of want to direct mount the pickups. I really do. I've always been a big fan of directly mounted pickups. I rather go that route than using the pickup rings. But I also have to see, you know, what we're up against here. I haven't even checked to see if these pickups fit in these routes as is. If we got to do some, you know, cleaning up to make them fit. The wire, you know, the routes for the wiring is kind of weird, just stuff I'm not used to. It's a little bit different. So they do fit in there. They are snug, so I probably will go ahead and just clean up these routes just a little bit. I mean, they're really nice and they're good routes, but they can be cleaned up just to make this so it's not as snug. But I really, really kind of want to go for the, you know, the whole direct mounted thing, which I'll probably take some little dowels or get some little pieces of wood and put them down in these spots for the cavities just to make that a little bit thicker. So we don't, you know, go drilling through the back of the body or anything, or screwing through the back of the body. So that's something I want to do. Let's check this cavity here. So it does fit in there, like I said, does fit, but it is a little tight. Let's see here. And the same with this one, fits, but it's still a little bit, it is a little bit snug. So we can go ahead and clean those out or clean them up a little bit and it'll be fine. So we're not going to drill holes for the pickup rings because we're probably not going to use them. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to drill a hole for the output jack. I have it right here. And yeah, so let's go get set up for that. I'm probably going to use a different, slightly bigger drill bit, probably one size up. I'll probably go to like, 5/64 or something like that. But I have to see and try to find the screws for this to just double check. All right, so we seem all good, ready to go. I have this bag of screws here. I want to check them out. Let's see what we're working with here. Try to sort out what's what. I'm guessing these are probably for the pickup rings, so we don't need those. And then honestly, the rest of the screws literally seem like they're all the same size. These screws seem like they're okay quality. They're really light, so I am scared about snapping them. That's why drilling, pre-drilling holes is really important. I will probably throw a little bit of wax on each screw too to make it go in easier. It also makes, maintenance, if you have to take the screw out, makes that a lot easier also. So I'm guessing these screws right here are going to be used for the you can see how small it is. I'm guessing those are going to be used for the output jack also. So in this case, we are going to switch our drill bit here from the 1/16 to the 5/64. Take this tape off of this one because we no longer need it on there. Pop this bad boy back. I bought this little drill bit set at Harbor Freight along with this little drill. I wanted the drill bits that have like the hex end on them so I can use my little drill. I use this thing for everything. This is a Drill Master. I bought the little adapter for the tuning peg, so when you're restringing, you can use it for that. You can use it, put some, screwdriver bits and everything on it. I love this little thing. I've had it for over a year now, and it's had zero problems. Hold charge for a while. It spins at 180 RPM, so it's not too fast, which is really, really good. So we're going to go ahead with this and we'll mark our depth. Let's see here. So with these, see, these are a little bit recessed, so I probably will get a bigger drill bit and recess the holes a little bit. With the tuner ones, we didn't have to worry about that, so I will go to probably about right there. So we'll set our depth. I mean, with this one, it's not as crucial because it's not like you can drill through the body right there. It'd be quite impossible to do that. So, all right. So I got my holes marked here. Our punch lines are there. We're going to go ahead and drill. Try to get it as straight as I can. That one was good. All right. All right, let's check this now. Try to do it facing the camera here. Flip this around. And it is perfect. So, got our holes for our output jack plate. That is perfect. Now I need to figure out these strap buttons. That is next. So I got to figure out where I even want to put them. All right, so I found my strap buttons and the screws in the bags of hardware here. The screws for the strap buttons are kind of very small, as you can see, a lot smaller than the normal screw for a strap button that I've seen on other guitars, but they should work. I have to decide if I want to go on the back of the horn, like on like my solars and stuff, or if I want to go at the end of the horn. Obviously, for this side, it's going to go dead center in the middle of the side of the body. One way I'm going to measure that is you can see the line for where the two pieces of the veneer meet is pretty much dead center, and going dead center through this middle hole for where the strings go through the body. It's pretty much dead center there. So I need to see how thick this body is, and then obviously we're going to cut that in half, and that's going to be where our mark goes. So pretty much at, I'd say, one little bit over 1.5 inches thick for the body. Not sure how accurate this ruler is. It's just a cheap ruler, but so we're gonna cut that in half. So we've got our hole marked. I'm gonna go ahead and get the drill bit we need and mark our depth. Let me go ahead and punch this with our hole puncher so we can get a good accurate drill. This hole puncher thing's pretty cool. I got that at Harbor Freight also. It works really well if you ask me. I mean, for the whole $4 that it was. Perfect. So that was dead on. I'm going to go ahead and for our drill bit, we are going to use, honestly, I might just use the same one that I used for the plates, what's it called? The output jack plates, because that seems to be a perfect size. I got to take this tape off because our depth is obviously a lot different. Alrighty. So as far as depth on this, it's pretty much where the drill bit stops and starts to get just, flat where the shaft of the drill bit starts. Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and start drilling this hole. Perfect. And it's obviously probably going to be a little bit deeper than it needs to, because once you get the strap button on and everything, you lose a lot of length of the screw. But just screwing this in here, it seems like that's going to be a perfect size for the screw. So we got that one done. Now I need to decide what I want to do for the second strap button. And honestly, I'm probably going to put it on the back. Obviously, this horn, the bottom horn's a lot sharper than the top horn. The top horn's more round, as you can see. I could put it here. But honestly, I think I really like how it is on my solar. So I think that's where we're going to rock it. This one we're not going to drill as deep. The only thing I hate about these drill bits is it doesn't really lock into the screw gun at all, but whatever, it is what it is. All right, so here it is. We got all of our holes drilled. Let's move on here. All right, so next I want to go ahead and get the neck put on. It looks like it all fits into this pocket very good. Nothing to be concerned about there. It's a little loose, but it's not too bad. Nothing to be concerned about. Basically just want to get it put on and check all the different, check the angle and alignment and everything. That way I don't, we don't run into problems later on down the road where we find out something's not lined up, but it all looks like it's lining up correctly. The screw holes that are in the neck and in the body all seem to be lining up correctly. I have the little ferrule inserts for the neck screws in the back here already, right here. There's no neck plate. I like these little recessed inserts. Those are always cool. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing put on here. So let's see here. Just hold this down like that. And our holes look like they are lined up. All these screws are the same length. So we're going to go ahead and get it started by hand here. So that one's in. You can tell it is starting to screw into the neck. We'll wiggle this one around. That one is starting to screw in. That one's good. And let's see, this one seems to be good. There is a little bit of an angle to the neck, but it all looks like it will work out once you get the bridge on and everything. Obviously the neck angle is all super important, so we're just going to go not all the way in, but most of the way. I just wanted to check angles here. It looks like it's sitting nice and flat. Looks like there's a perfect amount of space for the holes for the bridge. It looks like it's perfectly even. It looks like it's lining up correctly. And obviously, if it's a little off, we can loosen the neck screws and get everything, in place where it needs to be. I don't want to put the inserts in the body yet for the bridge or anything, just because then I have to pull them out, and sometimes that can be a pain in the butt. So you have to take them out to, get this thing stained and everything else. But it really looks like everything's lining up correctly. So that's really, really good. So, all right, so real quick, I have a piece of 320. I'm just going to go ahead and just clean the top of this veneer up a little bit. It's super thin, so I got to be careful. On a veneer, I would never use like a sanding machine or anything like that. Just do it by hand. You're way better off. One thing I'm bummed about is I wish it was a little bit thicker. That way I can lay some black down and then back sand it and get that grain to really pop and then do the color I want. But with it being so thin, I don't even think that's possible. So whatever color we put on there, it should still, make the grain pop, this nice flame maple. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, but just going to go ahead and smooth some of this out a little bit by hand. Like I said, they did a really, really good job from the factory, so I don't really even have to do much at all. Let's get these corners good. All right, so we got everything sanded. This feels really, really good. I did 320 grit, and it's pretty much where it needs to be stained and everything else. So, like I said, got to figure all that out, what I want to do when it comes to being stained. The neck feels really good. I don't really need to do anything with that. That is pretty much ready to... I don't know if I'm just going to put some sealer on it, some, True Oil or something, or if I'm going to stain it. I have to figure all that out. That's going to be what I'm going to be thinking about for a while to, I want it to come out really, really good. So definitely going to put some thought into that. One thing I wanted to do real quick before we wrap this video up is I have the switch and the potentiometer. I just want to make sure they fit in these holes. So we got the potentiometer. Let's see. So that fits in there perfect, no issues. The placement for the, your potentiometer and the switch is kind of weird. Like I mentioned in the unboxing, I've never really seen any kind of cavity set up like this, but it is what it is. We will make it work, obviously. And then as far as the switch, you have a 3-way toggle. Let's see. And that fits in there perfect. So no issues there. All right, so we got all our holes drilled. Everything is sanded smooth. Not that it already wasn't really smooth from the factory, but it's ready to, get stained and some finish on it. Everything seems to line up really good. The pickups fit. All of our electronics fit in the already existing holes. Yeah, I'm confident that we can go ahead and start getting some stain and finish on this thing. I really have to sit down and figure out what I want to do because I want it to look really, really good. That's pretty much my specialty, is making things and making guitars look good. I really want it to just be different and stand out. So I'm going to go look at some different pictures of different builds and just try to get inspired and see what I can come up with. But obviously, whatever I do, it's going to show this really nice flame maple veneer. I'm not sure yet, but we'll think of something. It'll be really, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and get this mess cleaned up. Part 3 will be getting some stain and finish on this thing, and we'll either start assembling it or we will wait till part 4 where we can assemble it and actually play this thing. First time building a DIY kit. Obviously, I've done a ton of guitar projects with existing guitars, but never actually did a, like a DIY kit. So it's really, really fun. I highly recommend trying it. Go on guitarkitworld.com and pick one. They have tons and tons of different options, so check them out for yourself. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this mess cleaned up, and yeah, we will see you in part 3. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, be a good person, go buy a guitar kit and build it and have a lot of fun, and we'll see you in part 3.